What's up, guys? Jpro here from Reflex Bag Workouts. It's good to see you back. If you're new, welcome to my channel. It's the best place online to get into fighting shape without breaking the bank or your jaw. My name is Jpro. I'm an amateur boxer, fitness trainer, and wellness coach. If you had a chance to watch my Meet Your Trainer video, then I hinted that this channel is going to be more than just weekly workouts, despite the name. So with that being said, welcome to episode 1 of Training Tips, where I'm going to be dropping boxing, strength training, general fitness tips so that you can stay busy in between your weekly workouts and get the most of your Reflex Bag. Today, we're going to start strong with my top 3 beginner training tips for the Reflex Bag and a few drills that'll keep you busy in between your weekly workouts. This is great for anyone who's new to boxing. Maybe you just picked up a Reflex Bag, or maybe you've had one for a little while and you've been training, in which case it never hurts to get a refresher of some basic tips so you can continue to improve and stay sharp. The Reflex Bag is one of those tools where it takes years and years to master. I mean, do you ever even really fully master it? Which is why we're always learning, we're always growing, and hopefully these are going to be helpful. So if that sounds good, let me throw my gloves on and we'll jump right in. All right, that's better. So let's jump into these tips, and remember, these are my top 3 beginner Reflex Bag training tips, starting with number 1, which is to understand your goals going in. And I know that that might seem obvious, but hear me out. I believe that the more specific and the more tangible your goals are going in, the more that you're going to get out of the experience of training with a Reflex Bag. Without having specific goals, you might set this up and have some fun with it, do a couple workouts online, but ultimately it'll fall flat and it won't have that long-lasting appeal that you want it to have. Having a specific goal is going to make the experience of training a lot better because it's going to be more satisfying as you improve, more fun, and you're just going to overall get more out of the bag. And it'll last you years and years and years to come, which is what we want when we get into a new fitness or boxing tool. So a couple different things to help you define your goal. I break down the goals into 3 different categories. And remember, these goals are not only going to give you a longer lasting experience, it's also going to affect how you train with the bag, how you approach training with the bag. So think about these different categories and which one suits you the most. Number 1 is learning real boxing technique. If learning real boxing technique is one of your goals, that's going to affect how you approach the bag. So when you're using the bag, there are some things you're always going to want to do. Keeping your chin tucked is one of them. Using effective range is going to be another one. You always want to have full extension on all your punches, so you're staying as far away as possible. You always want to drive your power through the hips. And as you go through, you visualize, this being an opponent that you're punching and then dodging and getting out of the way from. So every time you use the bag, you're going to want to keep those things in mind. Chin tucked, full extension on your punches, elbows tucked in, pivoting, driving weight through the torso. These are all things that you're going to want to do every time you train with the bag. Number 2, boxing for wellness might be a goal of yours. Boxing for wellness, I really think about the mental benefits of boxing. So maybe we're releasing some aggression, or we're working to develop balance, happiness, self-confidence, all of the things you can't visibly see, but we know that we're benefiting from training with the Reflex Bag. Now, if this is one of your goals, you don't need to worry about technique so much, right? You can go in, you can drop your hands when you box, because the most important thing here is that I'm getting into that rhythm. I'm channeling that unique mind-body connection that only you can achieve when you're going through. You're doing that dance and that you're having fun, which doesn't mean that your chin has to be tucked all the time. It doesn't really matter if your punches are always perfect form, because you get into that flow that mind-body connection, and you're good to go. Number 3 is your boxing for fitness. If you're boxing for fitness, maybe that's weight loss, maybe you want to develop a fighting physique, those shoulders, those arms, that core, in which case that's also going to approach how you use the bag. So number 1, you might want to add extra weight to the base so that you can load up and land power punches. Being able to throw with force is what's going to develop my arms, my torso, my lower body. I really want to make sure I have enough weight on the base so that I can drive that force and build that fighting physique. Also, if I'm boxing for fitness, maybe I'm going to up my volume. I'm going to want to throw more punches than what's recommended. Obviously, volume is going to help me develop that cardio, that shoulder stamina, and build that all-around full body definition. So, think deeply about your goals. Maybe your goal falls into one of those categories, maybe it's 2, or maybe it's all 3. There is no right or wrong answer, only you can decide what your goals are. No one else can tell you what your goals are. Drop your goals in the comments and let me know so that I can keep that in mind when I'm developing our weekly workouts. Tip number 2, it's all about balance. And I'll tell you a little more about that. First thing to keep in mind with balance is lining up in a proper boxing stance. So there's a lot of videos out there on how to get into a boxing stance. I have one. There's professional boxers who have left tips. It never hurts to get a refresher to make sure that you're in a wide boxing stance. When in doubt, just remember it's train tracks over balance beam. Train tracks, I'm able to shift my weight from lead to rear. Balance beam, I can't really move anywhere, and the slightest attempt to punch will make me topple over. I want to be balanced because when I'm using the Reflex Bag, a lot of times I might miss, but that's okay. It's okay to miss. That's why this was designed. See, the heavy bag is misleading. The heavy bag is satisfying to use, so it'll make me feel like a powerful champion hitting the bag, but you have that weight with the heavy bag, knowing that it's always going to be there. With the Reflex Bag, you don't have that. You might miss, but by doing so and staying balanced, I'm actually developing better boxing technique, because in real boxing, you might be missing more often than you're hitting the target. And that person across the ring, they're moving their head, they're moving their feet. So as you're using the bag, just know that it's okay to miss. Just focus on staying balanced. Because as far as timing goes, hitting a moving target, there's no real tip I can give you right now that's just going to make that easier. It's one of those things that just takes time and repetition. But remembering to stay balanced is really going to help. What you don't want to do is try to do a combo, and if you mess up the combo, go, like this and step away. Nope. Finish the combo. Just stay balanced. I miss all the time with the Reflex Bag, but I stay balanced. So if the combo is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I miss the 3, I'm just going to finish the combo. Balance is going to help you in every single aspect of your boxing development with the bag, as well as your general fitness development too. Third and final tip. Number 3, head movement is key. Used to be a rapper in a past life. Fun fact. Head movement is key when using the bag, and remember, it's all about subtle movements. When I'm working with beginners in the gym, a lot of the times we see overcorrections with our slips. We make it this huge movement, but if you think about a punch coming at you, it's just a subtle movement to just take your head off the center line. So anytime that you're using the bag, you want to develop a good habit of taking your head off the center line. Number 1, that's going to help you learn real boxing. If you're ever in any kind of boxing or self-defense scenario, head movement is key. It's also going to allow you to punch harder and know that you don't have to worry about getting hit, because you get comfortable taking your head off of the center line. It's really simple, but it's important that you practice. So anytime you're doing a Reflex Bag workout, And it's a combination. Try to incorporate some head movement as you're throwing those punches. I think it also makes the flow, the mind-body connection I talk about all the time, really facilitates that because it makes it fun. This is the dance. This is the beautiful dance of boxing, is the combination of offense, defense, of not even thinking. Woo! Just letting yourself go. So those are my 3 tips. Understand your goals, balance, balance, balance. And number 3, head movement is key from a young MC. Woo! Fire. Straight fire. All right, so we got the tips down. We're going to end episode 1 of Training Tips with a little drill. This is something that you can do in between the workouts. You can do it at the end of a workout if 4 rounds isn't enough. The best way, I believe, to drill on the Reflex Bag is to mix up the pace and the rhythm of how you use the bag. So I typically like to do a minute of a flow, a minute working combinations, and then a minute working a freestyle with your goal in mind. So if you have your gloves on, let's run through a little drill together. So for the first minute, we're going to be at that flow pace. We'll start with a flow 1-2. The flow is our nice, relaxed pace. Boxers use this pace so they can practice their distance, their timing, and condition their shoulders. It's a nice, light pace, and it's a good way to practice on the bag. So right now we're flowing 1-2, but you can flow with any of the punches. Now we can flow 5-6. It's a nice, relaxed pace. You go with the rhythm that works for you. So if you're new, you just slow it down. This is going to help you with your timing. And then coming up in 10 seconds, we'll work a combination. So you work whatever combination or combinations you want. Let's start with a 1-2-1-2. Ish, 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 ish. This is where we do less volume, a little footwork in between, and a little bit sharper on our punches. Ish, 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 ish. Ish, 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 ish. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, because I'm going to start posting a combo of the week, and I'm going to make it different than the one in the workouts. So if you ever want to drill a combination, you'll have some of my go-tos right there. Now let's switch it up. What do you think? How about a 1-2-5-6? Ish, 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 ish. Ish, 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 ish. You notice it's not non-stop like the flow. I'm landing that combo, and then I've got a little footwork in between. Ish, 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 ish. Ish, 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 ish. Another pro tip with the combination, your power punch is typically going to happen at the end. Ish, 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 ish. So in that case, it's that 6 I'm driving home. Then for the last minute of the round, it's your freestyle. This is where you take your goal in mind. So if you're working fitness, we might want to turn up the volume. We might want to incorporate some more footwork, some more movement. If we're thinking about wellness with our goal, we're finding that connection. We're channeling that inner mind-body boxing euphoria that I love so much that I quit my 6-figure job to pursue boxing full time. Or if we want to practice technique, maybe we're working range. Full extension and range. Changing angles, always keeping our hands up high. And time. So that's a nice, simple drill. 1 minute of a flow, 1 minute of a combo, and then 1 minute of a freestyle that you can work anytime on your bag. So hopefully this was helpful. If you enjoyed the tips today, please throw your boy a like, throw your boy a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the free weekly Reflex Bag workouts. And don't worry, this isn't the only video this week. We've got the workout of the week dropping in a couple days. And follow me on Instagram for that combo of the week as well. I'll see you real soon. Ish, ish, ish. Hiss.